In this video, we'll walk you through how OnLink can be used to push work logs from Jira to Workday time tracking. So here is a typical Jira issue, and users can use Tempo or directly within Jira and log the time that they spent on a particular issue. If I go down to the work log section, you will see the list of all time entries that are assigned to this particular issue. Note that for a given issue, the time logged can be by any user. It doesn't need to be for the particular assignee or reporter. So any user and multiple users can log time to one issue. And OnLink is able to handle these kind of specifics as well. So that's just an overview of how work logs appear in each issue. Now, if I go to the OnLink app, which you can do by going to apps and manage your app section. First, you will set up a connection to Workday. I'll skip that part for this particular video. In order to set up a timesheet import into Workday, you can use the bulk jobs functionality. So click on bulk jobs and you can create a new one here. I already have a couple of jobs, so let me edit it. You give it a name, you select the connection, which is the target connection in this case. We want to push work logs to Workday. You have the JQL that you can give. This is the way in which OnLink accesses the list of work logs that need to be processed. For this JQL, there are a bunch of standard key functions, for example, start of week and end of week with a -1. At least for this example, what I'm showing is give me all the work logs for last week. So starting from Monday midnight to last Sunday at 11:59. This allows users to enter time for the previous week, and OnLink is able to pull up all of those work logs and process them. This can obviously be adjusted for a month or other dates as per customers' requirements. OnLink processes work logs by batch, so you can set a batch limit or leave it at the default 25, and then you can also schedule it to run hourly or daily. OnLink also manages the last successful runtime. This is important to ensure that a particular work log that was entered and already processed, meaning already pushed to Workday, is not processed again. So essentially avoids duplicate processing. When I click on next, here I can select the endpoint. Again, for Workday, we support a few endpoints. And for time tracking, usually this is the web service that is used. For this web service, we automatically provide the request structure. So Workday expects worker reference. Obviously, when we are pushing to Workday, we need the worker ID that is in Workday. And OnLink provides this handy function called getID, which looks up assets to reverse lookup from a Jira user ID to Workday ID. So that way, this can be fully automated and that mapping already exists for you to look up the Workday ID. Other fields like date, quantity, comment, again, they can come from Worklog or from your issue fields. Depending on the mapping, you can set this up. For example, if you need to add work tags in Workday, meaning cost center and business unit, etc., those will be additional fields here, and they can come from issue fields. So just as an example, cost center in Workday, you can say custom field. So this is the way in which, assuming this custom field has the cost center field, you can use that to map to cost center in Workday. Similarly, other fields can be mapped as well. And this particular get ID is able to pull the worker ID from assets. OnLink has the ability to push data from Workday into assets. And for example, all we need is the Workday ID as well as the Jira user in order to do that mapping. So in this way, we can use Worklogs, use a JQL to automatically select all the work logs that employees have entered for a given time period, map that data to what Workday expects, and push it at a regularly scheduled interval.